Hi, it's Donna from redcarpetlearning.com, and I am going to share with you today the stories of three leaders who prove that there is always time for gratitude. So, one of the things that often comes up when we are speaking with our customers and sharing delicious ideas for how they might make their team members feel more valued and appreciated is this idea of not really having time. People really get excited about all the ideas. They see the value in the ideas, but then they go back to their day-to-day routine and just feel like they don't have time to execute them. And this is a real thing. So I want to acknowledge that we are doing more with less, that more is expected of us, and we have less people and less resources. And it can, even I go through days where I feel like I just don't have time to get everything accomplished. At the same time, one of the things that I have learned, and many truly effective leaders have learned, is that you choose where you spend your time. So you can spend your time in all of the proactive activities that set your team up for success, or you can spend your time in the reactive activities that for problems and challenges that occur because you weren't proactive about setting them up for success in the beginning. So noodle on that for a minute and just think about, am I really in reactive mode or am I in proactive mode? But I promise you the story of three very effective leaders who prove that taking time for gratitude, appreciation, and creating culture, an intentional culture, is something that you must have time for. So we'll start with Nido Cobain. Nido is the president of High Point University, and if you know me at all, you know what a fan I am of Nido and his team and what they have been doing at High Point University. In the last few years, they have tripled their freshman class. They have more than doubled their retention from freshman to sophomore year. They have grown exponentially in a time where private schools were actually struggling. They were growing under his leadership. And Nido is known for walking around the campus. Like, people know him, the students know him, the staff and the faculty know him. He takes time to teach classes for his team and for students. He is at their games, the students' games. He is visible. He calls every single staff and faculty member on their birthday. And I asked him once, Nido, you are so busy. I mean, besides being the president of this university, he has other businesses. He's an author, he's a speaker. I mean, this is an incredible busy man. I said, how do you have the time to do all this? Walk around campus, call staff and faculty on their birthdays. Like, it's crazy. How do you do it? And he said, Donna, I don't have the time not to. This is the secret to our success. I am building a very intentional, extraordinary culture here. And the way to do that is in those connections that I build with my team and with the students of High Point University. So that's the first lesson from a leader that I admire and who's getting incredible results with his organization. Also, several years ago, Campbell Soup was not doing so well. They may be back, under new leadership. They may be back in that situation. But the first time they weren't doing so well, they brought on a new CEO, and his name was Doug Conant, and he is credited with turning Campbell Soup around in that time period. And something that is legendary and absolutely true about Doug is that he wrote 25 handwritten thank you notes every single day to Campbell Soup team members. Incredible. Over the course of his 10-year tenure, he wrote 30,000 handwritten notes. Now, you would think, how could the CEO of such a large corporation have time to do that? But my guess is that Douglas Conant realized he didn't have time not to, because it's those little things that build the culture that drove the success of Campbell's Soup at that time. And the third leader is Colin Reed. You may have read about this in my book, The Celebrity Experience. But one of the things that I loved that he did was that once a month, when Colin Reed was the CEO of Gaylord Entertainment. And so under that was Gaylord Opryland and Gaylord National and all of the Gaylord hotels, as well as the Grand Ole Opry. And he would set aside a day once a month. And honestly, it may have been several times a month because he may have done it for every single hotel under his care. But he would set a time once a month where employees could call him just to chat, to share their concerns, to share their stories. He spent all day, at least once a month, just talking to employees at any level of the organization. And again, as a result, they did very, very well and had employees who they called stars, by the way, feel significant, important, like they mattered. And that, of course, drove the success of the organization. So I want you to rethink the idea that you may not have time to walk around for 30 minutes a week and just notice what your team members are doing well and share your verbal or written or both appreciation with them. Because the reality is you don't have time not to. If you like this video, and if you have some thoughts about how important it is to show your appreciation to your staff members, if you would write those in the comments below, I would love to hear from you. I'd love to hear your ideas and your thoughts as well. And if you like the video, hit the subscribe button, and that little bell next to the subscribe button will ensure that you always get an alert every time we have a new video. As always, we'd love for you to visit redcarpetlearning.com, and if we can help you in any way in your journey towards creating a culture of customer service excellence, we'd love to have that conversation. In the meantime, keep living and working the red carpet way.